What worries me is what's going on in California. We haven't seen that big shift occur in California. And what worries me is this huge net out-migration of domestic population that we've watched over the past decade. Nearly 3 million more people have moved out of California than have moved in the last 10 years, really since the recall election. That starts to have a big impact on the political demographics of the state. And if we're to turn that around, we're going to need the best leadership we can possibly find, which is what brings us all here today with Kevin Hanley. Here's the good news about California. A couple of good points about California. Number one, we've got everything in the world going for us. I mean, we have the most equitable climate in the entire Western Hemisphere. We have the most bountiful resources anywhere in the continental United States. We're poised on the Pacific Rim in a position to dominate world trade for the coming century. And yet people are finding a better future. If you look at the census data, they're leaving California for places like Arizona, Nevada, Texas. I mean, what conceivable act of God could possibly turn California into a less desirable place than the Nevada nuclear test range? Acts of government can do that much damage, and they have. And the hope that I see is this. Once you look past the partisan offices, Republicans here on the left coast of America still do very well. You realize there are more Republican city council members in California than there are Democrats. 60% of the county supervisors in California are Republicans, which means that once you get past those party labels, people like what we're saying. Kevin Hanley, I have worked with now for 25 years. I first met him when he was working the Assembly Republican Caucus. He was the go-to guy on a whole range of issues, and we listened to him, and we listened to him closely. He was kind of a galvanizing influence for the Republican caucus in those years. Since then, he's gone to and you know his work as mayor of Auburn, you know his work with the Chamber of Commerce. This is a guy that people respect. This is a guy who knows his stuff, who will speak clearly, not only within the halls of Sacramento, but also to the people of California. I can't think of a more important election for our nation than the one we have coming up for president. I cannot think of a more important election for California than this assembly seat, because that can be the turning point for the public policy debate in California, and Lord knows we need it. So I just want to thank every one of you for being here today to support Kevin Hanley. This is the race I am the most committed to of any of the ones that I'm involved in across the state, including my own for that matter. That hasn't been true in the past sometimes, but Kevin can literally be a turning point in Sacramento. We put a guy like him in the middle of the state assembly with all of his wealth of knowledge, with the fact that he's been tested under fire time and again and stood his ground, and the fact that people listen to him. That can have an enormous impact, and that will start right here in this assembly district, and it will be because of the support of all of you coming forward as you have. So Kevin, it's an honor to be supporting you, and I know that I speak for everyone in this room when I say that there's nothing more important we can be doing right now than being sure you get through this primary, get to Sacramento, and make a difference.